guys, Luna here, and welcome back to Friendsim 2. Very least, the revolutionary route of Friendsim 2. So let's get right into it, shall we? So last we left off, I don't know where we're on page 9. We managed to finish the revolution of Act 5. So we continue into the Weave of Fates. Continue on to the next volume. Contains warnings for discussions of sex and sexuality, some sexually suggestive language, discussions of child abuse, and discussion of eugenics. Player discussion or viewer discretion is advised. Why is there things? Ray on the Lost Monastery was discussed. With a little pay attention, should be perfect. It's been a couple of cycles now, long enough that you're getting used to calling them cycles instead of days at least, and it's feeling like the longest day of your life. Even if things had calmed down a little bit, everything still feels so dire, like the trolls who are on world here are all living on borrowed time. Obviously that was more or less literally true for Eldward and Lingqi, but what about Wanchi?
What about me?
Oh, heck, you're doing nothing again. You sure search for the right, most delicate way to phrase this. Isn't she kind of worried about the other Jades eventually having to go off-world? Wanchi shrugs.
I try not to think about it much.
Oh, didn't let her finish. You squint.
Shut up!
I didn't even get to finish my thing. You squint at her. Doesn't she, though? It seems like this is a major part of her life after Lanira, Bronny, and Dart.
You have no idea what you're even talking about. So just shut up.
You can't help but notice the tears in the corners of her eyes. Wanchi quickly wipes at her face and shakes her head vigorously.
It's fine.
Okay, but it seems like maybe it's not fine.
Nope, it's fine. You'll see.
Well, hey, she gets to really fight the power, just like Daria.
Why would I care about being like Daria?
You know what? Never mind. But she's got to be excited about this, right? The sense of freedom. Wanchi shrugs. She looks down and quietly tugs at a lock of hair.
I guess. Ooh. Mostly, I'm just worried about the others.
Wait, why is she worried about the others? Did something happen to them? It suddenly occurs to you that they might not even be there when you arrive. You're trying to remember how old everyone was. They seem like they're all young adults. So.
They're still on planet, just...
She trails off and frowns down at the ground.
It's just that they're not doing so great. And basically, the only thing keeping them here right now is imperial bureaucracy bullshit. Don't you dare tell Branya I said bullshit. Woo.
Wanchi's very quiet for the rest of the walk to the caverns, which makes for an extremely awkward walk. You've mostly focused on admiring all the deadly flora that you missed so very much over the last few years. As you feed herself in the cavern entrance, Wanchi stops in her tracks.
All they care about is their own stupid bullshit now. It's dumb, and I hate it.
You're not sure what she means by that exactly, but at least she's glad that they're still around, right? After all, the alternative would be that she takes over in the caverns, which definitely does not sound good. Oh, now, as thought occurs to you, are the others going to be sent off-world as soon as she's ready for the job in the cavern matriarch? Wanchi shuffles her feet and her voice drops.
No one knows. I do badly on my tests on purpose. Not enough to get kicked out, but...
Badly enough that the others don't get kicked out too, huh? Wanchi nods solemnly.
Yeah.
Wanchi, what are you doing out here again?
Hearing a very familiar yell, you look up quickly to see yet another one of your old friends. Lanira is standing there, brandishing a knife and scowling. Uh-oh. Hey there, Lanira, you're not planning to stab anyone with that knife, are you?
What?
Her eyes go from the knife to you, to Wanchi, and back to you, and then back to you again. You can see the instant that it registers with her what's happening. She drops the knife point down into the dirt and runs forward, grabbing you into an exaggerated hug.
You came back after all this time.
I really love Lanira's art style. It's adorable. Yep, you sure did come back. Maybe you can't breathe. Lanira quickly lets you go and jumps back, blushing and shaking a little bit.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you or anything. I just got excited. It's been so long. Where were you?
You've been getting that question a lot lately, and everyone seems to have different ways of just saying it. Some of them were hurt or angry at you, but Lynera just seems genuinely confused. Without breaking a stride, she breaks into a grin and waves a hand in front of her face.
Never mind. It doesn't even matter. I'm just so happy that you're back now.
Lynera composes herself far more quickly than you would have expected, all things considered, and walks over to pick the knife up out of the ground. She frowns and wipes it absently against her skirt. So she never did answer you about the stabbing thing. You're not prepared for the look of absolute shock that crosses her face.
Why would I do something like that?
She glances down at the knife in her hands and her eyebrows shoot up as an understanding dawn.
Oh, my Empress, no. I was making dinner when one of the Luci came running in. I thought that maybe someone was...
She trails off and shuffles in place, dropping her gaze.
I wasn't even thinking about the knife. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's just that the last time you saw her, she was maybe... You noticed one, she out of the corner of your eye, quickly waving a hand in a "stop talking, you idiot" motion. You quickly stop talking.
It's fine. Lynn, we were just out checking it on Lank. Woo?
Lynera frowns at the mention of the name and shakes her head.
You shouldn't be associating with him. It's not safe. Also, I told you to stop calling me Lynn.
One, she rolls her eyes and begins to push it past Lynera.
Only like it when she calls you that? Woo?
That is not true.
Yeah, okay, Lynera. I'll be in my room if you need me. Woo.
Ugh, I swear she makes me so angry sometimes.
Lynera's expression softens as she turns back to you. She seems to be looking you up and down, trying to decide if you're real or not.
It's okay. Let's get you inside and cleaned up.
Before you can go very far into the caverns, you stop and clear your throat, which gets Lynera to turn and look at you again. So, just so you know what's getting yourself into, what exactly has happened over the last couple of sweeps? Lynera looks at you like you just asked the world's stupidest question, which, to be fair, you kinda did.
I don't know how to answer that. It's been a long time and...
She trails off and shuffles in place, reaching over to hug her arms around herself.
Look, we can talk about it later, okay? I want the others to know you're here.
After a short walk down the hallways of the caverns, you find yourself emerging into a high-ceilinged common space. The room is filled with a mishmash of varieties of pieces and of furniture that gives it a warm, lived-in feeling. Sitting in a high-baked armchair in one corner of the room, you see yet a familiar face. Daria looks up when she hears the two of you come in.
What's up, fuckers?
Lynera glares at her and motions with the knife. Honestly, it just seems like she forgets she has the thing in her hands at all.
Oh, stop it. Look, we've got company.
Yeah, that's supposed to mean something to me? Hey there, you're back, right?
Yep, you gesture to yourself and Daria rolls her eyes.
No, I meant this nosy bitch who insists on poking into everyone's nook about everything.
Next, you see Lynera's face explode into a veritable fireball of green. She starts to stammer and fidget, and you can't help but notice that Daria is grinning from ear to ear at the sight of it.
That is...
Daria.
Broke down already, huh, Lynn?
You notice that Lynera doesn't correct Daria, but instead looks straight down at her feet and gathers a handful of her skirt and mumbles something under her breath that you can't understand.
What's that? Sorry, I couldn't quite hear.
I said that it isn't fair when you say things like that to me.
Daria shrugs and turns to you again. She quickly pushes herself out of the chair and walks over.
What's up, fucker?
Oh, well, what's up is... You're not exactly sure how to answer the question.
We're pitched. Been pitched for like a sweep now.
This whole situation is making you deeply uncomfortable. Now try to approach the delicate question of the precise nature of this relationship, blah, 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 blah.
Daria! You can't just say things like that in front of company.
Why? You ashamed of me? Or are you worried they're gonna find out about your little secret?
She winks at Lynera, who somehow manages to flush an even deeper shade of green. While this is not at all awkward moment is happening, you hear the sound of someone approaching through the cavern hallways.
Lynera, do you have a minute to do me a favor? 1. Please clean out the soaper trap in the nursery. 2. Check on the Luci down in the main cavern. 3. Make sure that Wanchi is studying at least an hour. Her last set of marks on the evaluation were atrocious.
Bronya. Lanira nods quietly to this, and you can catch a sight of something in her face that's hard for you to set in place.
Of course. What are Moirels for, after all?
And with a very nervous laugh, Lanira walks off down in the hallway. As soon as she's gone, it's like Bronya suddenly notices you all at once, and you can see the now familiar wash of emotions going through her face, the recognition of what she's seeing, and finally she smiles at you. Before you know it, you're wrapped in the second, almost too tight of a hug in the last 10 minutes or so, which, look at the little baby and the little brook. Oh, look at the little baby.
It's wonderful to see you again. If Wanchi had said something, I would have made something special for you.
I'm glad
Yeah, well, if you're both going to be doing this, I'm going to my room.
Bronny turns and puts a hand on Daria's shoulder. There's a soft look in her eyes, and she smiles and leans in to kiss Daria on the cheek.
I'll be along in a minute, darling.
Wait, what? Daria smiles out of the corner of her mouth and lets out a short snort of laughter.
Sure thing, darling.
I'm gonna go try and after Daria.
What's wrong? Is something the matter?
Well, no, not exactly. Just remember you have something that you really want to talk to Daria about. Something. A couple of things, actually. Brenya's face falls briefly, but she quickly recovers and smiles warmly.
Well, when you're ready to come back, I'd love to catch up. It's very important to keep up with old friends. Bye. 1. Maintaining regular and positive contact via in-person conversation or chitter messages. 2. Sharing details of mutual interests and hobbies. 3. Ensuring your friends aren't snatched up by Imperial recruitment drones or called for subversive activities.
You manage to catch up to Daria before she has a chance to actually get to her rest block. She reels on you in the corridor, and well, she's not angry or anything, but she doesn't seem exactly happy to see you either.
What the fuck do you want now? Can't you see I'm busy?
Oh, yeah, sure. She rolls her eyes and waves a hand at you.
Okay, sure, whatever. I'm going to my respite block, so...
Daria quickly walks down the hall and you trail after her, your infamously stubby legs making it hard to keep up. After a little bit of aimless wandering, you find Daria's rest block with the door open. The room itself is a mess, but it's got a certain kind of organized chaos vibe going for it. Rather than the sense of actual disorganization. Inside, it looks like Daria is sitting back on a couch, lounge playing whatever. She's reading what looks like a comic book.
Can I help you?
She's definitely got a palm husk out, that's for sure. Hey, who's she talking to on that thing? Maybe her morale? Daria's face turns jade green and she turns away from you.
None of your fucking business is who I'm talking to. Look, if you're not gonna leave me alone, at least stop standing there like an asshole. What is it?
Oh, well, you mostly just want to ask her some questions. Nothing.
Fine. Can you please just ask already?
What was that about a band? Daria glares at you, but there's a trace of a smile on her lips. She doesn't answer right away, but instead fidgets with her hands for a few seconds, as if she's taking time to process this conversation is going to reveal about her.
Yeah, I got a band. We play a lot of bronze blood grunge punk and shit like that. Our singer's all about that, and yeah.
You're kind of unclear on exactly how much Eternian culture revolves around the arts in general. You've definitely seen music and art, obviously, but it feels like there's always a certain undercurrent of expectation to cater to high bloods, or at least to acknowledge their place in society. Daria grins at you and sticks up a middle finger. Oh, nice to know that gesture translates across your universe like that.
Well, fucking no. We don't have to cater to shit. This is underground protest music. Shit could get us called.
Oh, geez, that sounds really dangerous. Isn't she worried about what might happen if the Empire caught wind of things? Daria shrugs.
You sound like Branya. Jeez. She doesn't want me doing the concerts. But after what went down with Elward, she's not going too hard on the I'm your mate, Sprit, and I worry about you thing.
Oh, yeah, okay. So Daria's playing in an underground punk band. That's definitely not so dangerous and a little bit insane at all.
Yeah, well, some of us aren't happy just nursing sick grubs back to health all day.
What's Wanchi's deal?
Her deal? I'm sorry. You're going to have to be a bit more specific than that.
Well, you know, she's been hanging out in the cave with a pair of fugitives from the Empire. She's really into, like, troll D&D now. You did a whole thing with that.
Yeah, he's super into that shit now. I mean, not that I care about anything like that.
You're just gonna have to agree to put a pin in that one for now. Maybe circle back later. Also, what's up with how she's dressed? Doesn't that feel like a little bit familiar? Darius screws up her face and looks down at her outfit quickly, then back up.
Look, I have no idea what you mean. She just started dressing like that one day. It's not like I told her to or anything.
You think it's really cool? You think it's one she's dressing up like Daria, then that... you think that if one she's dressing up like Daria, then that must mean she looks up to Daria at least a little bit. Daria is pretty sharp, and she's certainly figured that out by now. Daria turns her head nervously aside and smiles.
I don't know. Maybe? Fuck.
Well, you think it's totally cool.
Shit. You sound kind of like Branya right now. Couple of goddamn dorks.
So, what's going on around here?
What's going on around here? Seriously?
Yeah, you know, what's happened? What's the scoop? What's the deal? You kind of wish you spent a little bit more time brushing on your Terranian slang so you could relate to more of these crazy kids, wigglers, whatever. Daria's eyeing you like you just said the pretty stupid thing.
I haven't been a wiggler for a while now. You never even knew me as a wiggler. You are so condescending right now.
Ouch, that one stings a little bit. Maybe you should apologize. Look, you try to explain. Sometimes you just say things, stupid things, wrong things, and you're sorry because you know that those things hurt other people, and you weren't thinking about how your free-form rambling might actually make her feel. You've been realizing that lately your approach to people hasn't necessarily been the best. That maybe treating other people like a brief interactions that can be compartmentalized like 10 or 15 minutes leaves a lot of the nuance and complexity of interpersonal relationships.
Okay. That's a weird-ass apology. But I guess that's all I'm getting, huh?
She smiles at you and you quickly, tactfully redirect to the conversation. You just wanted to know how things have been since you left. And you're sorry for that, by the way, for disappearing without saying anything.
Look, it's fine. I mean, I guess you did kind of help introduce me to my Moirail. And I know what you did up on the teal ship. Tisius told me.
You're pretty fired up about the whole anti-empire thing up there, weren't you? It's a lot of stuff that you now have to live up
Yeah,
to.
exactly. I miss her. Wish I could see her again, but you know how it is.
You're not exactly sure if you know how it is, but you nod along anyways, and Daria grins at you.
Yeah, you get it. Besides, Branya's really sweet. And Lynera is, well...
She smiles softly, motions with her hands. What's up with her and Lynera?
We're pitched. Is that enough for you? Or do you want, like, excruciating details on how we fuck or something?
What? Oh, God, no. You really didn't think about this in some kind of sort. M-rated for sure, but that totally gets celerity into some kind of adults-only territory. Judging by Daria's puzzled expression, you feel like you just said basically all that stuff.
It's fine. Just tell me you were still like this.
Right, but yes, you understand what a pitch relationship is. You suppose it's not a complete surprise or anything?
I feel like you're going to add something here.
It feels like there's something more to this. Daria narrows her eyes and scowls at you, and then, without further explanation, she becomes very interested in avoiding your gaze and shuffling her feet uncomfortably.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Lynera's a bitch, and I hate her. Which, well, you know the deal. Wouldn't want to go and get too adults-only about it for you.
Oh, yeah. You think maybe it's time to steer this conversation in a different direction?
Yeah, let's do that. Whatever. As if I'm going to be giving a shit what you think of what me and Lynn are.
She stops herself. That sounded pretty, is familiar the right word? Never heard anyone call Lynera by anything other than her full name. Is it normal for pitchmates to call each other pet names? Daria is turning a deep, vibrant green.
I swear to the mother grub herself, I will fucking murder you.
What's up with her and Brody?
Well, you know how it is. She's still in charge of the caverns. Keeps us all organized, all that. Absolutely hard-ass most of the time. Also, we've been made spritz for, like, almost a sweet.
You feel like maybe she should have led with that part. Daria shakes her head.
What? What is it? You got something to say to me about this?
This feels off somehow. Daya puts her head down and sighs heavily, and this doesn't feel like something she's putting on. In fact, it feels like she's dropping her guard for a second. Just a little bit. You don't say anything, but you're worried that saying something will break the spell and she's back to her old self.
You're right. Don't suppose you know much about quadrants, do you?
You don't say anything, but it doesn't matter. She's already talking again.
Like, I know how it is. 1 troll per quadrant. That's how things balance out, right? Duty to the Empire. Duty to each other. All that stupid bullshit. But what if my feelings aren't so fucking simple? What if I'm pitched for her one day and then I'm feeling like I just want things to be soft and...
She stops dead in her tracks and looks up to you as if she's just realizing that she's talking out loud. She shakes her head and quickly looking embarrassed.
Fuck it. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Everyone seems kind of tense.
That's your big observation here? What you're taking away from everything?
Well, sure, that's true, right? They all seem really stressed out about this kind of vague, hard-to-define way. What's that even about?
Fucking seriously. You do realize we're all basically waiting to get shipped off world, right? Like, even if that wasn't the likely outcome, even if I could get out of here or something, what would happen?
Well, it seems to be working for Lanqui and Elwood, right? Daria laughs at you.
Yeah, fucking right. Hiding out and just waiting for the day that the drones come along and find them. Or they make a wrong move and end up on the end of a legislator's gun. There's only one likely outcome for them, and that's they end up dead. I'd rather live my whole life in the fucking cloisters, or maybe in some shithole colony managing rust blood tax.
Those all do sound pretty bad options, true, but surely there's some bright side here? There must be something that makes this all worthwhile.
What, you mean other than sneaking out to play underground concerts with the band and fucking my pitchmate in the back of the library?
No, not. And then she says, no, not really. Now you're the one feeling embarrassed and immediately regretting that you went down this line of conversation. Can she maybe talk about literally anything else? Daria glares at you through your narrowed eyes.
As fucking great as it's been to catch up, I'm kind of busy right now. So maybe go bother someone else for a while.
You know what? That sounds like a fantastic idea. You're sure Daria could use some time to reflect on her horribly depressing life circumstances.
Thanks, I guess.
Let's see here. Let's check my phone. Daria. So, they. Hey, you get fucked. Bastards grants down. The system. 1 romance, 1 friendship, 1 pitch, overfilling quadrants, violation. The only way to escape the closest hashtag for bloods. Hashtag invasion of 1 alien invaders still on point despite rumors. Love you, Gritter Clubs. Interesting. What does mean open duty? To do what is to obey, to do what's right. Sex for a question. That's not deep. Look, we know how you feel about her. So grateful for friends, mates, Brian Morelli. Grateful for you too. Thank you for saying that. Thanks, Lenny. Stop it. Stop what? Have you heard the news? What do you mean, the alien? They appear to return. They're won by the Empire. Good luck getting them that out. I don't mean they're French or whatever. You have responsibility to each other above all else, so true. You want to look out for each other. Mind anyone leaving caverns requires permission. Do you sneak out time? This isn't about me. What if I don't want to feed the loose eye? I surely hope you are sleeping alone tonight. Fine. You should stop trying to play mind games and just be direct. This is directed at me. If the shoe fits, I told you just mind calling that none of your business. Worth it. Looks, I'm sorry I called you a jerk. Meet me in the library and apologize in person, okay? God, I'm bored around here. I miss chicks. She's back. I mean, I gotta talk to her again. Can't believe I never thought I'd hear her from again. She's such a nook licker all the time. You're so right, she's not gonna heck you. I'm gonna miss my morality so much right now. Looks like our old friends back again. Can't say them to show up a psychological thing. Not really sure what they want. Does it matter so long? I know, maybe, but maybe they hear them out. That might have to do something important to say. What do Alien Invasion 1 and Grub Common? Bunch of dorks. Maybe they got fucking points. What are you talking about, Daria? Don't worry about it, just some stuff. The Nira, everything is fine, trying to do better. I know that person's thinking out. Want to come away with this? Maybe sneak behind the caverns. No such thing. Meet me in the study. Grub sing duty. Let's just feeding today. Someone left the food in the study again. You know the grub's on a specific dieting. Oh, that was me. Need you. She's not an abjuration. Who are you talking about? I want to attain this. Why don't you clean up the study? Do you see me immediately to discuss this? Hate this. What are you supposed to do? Can't sleep. Are you okay? No, I'm fine. Just fine. Are you sure? Because you don't seem okay. Well, fine. Okay. Whatever you say. Wonderful news. Alien's been cleared from the call list. That's good news. Yay. Yeah, that's wonderful. Patrol's been syncing out with the mission. Friends back. Can't wait to tell them what's been happening. Definitely been interesting. So let's go check on Bronya. You head back to the common room when you first saw Bronya, and guided by your impeccable friend senses. Sure enough, she's still in there sitting down in one of the armchairs and reading quietly to herself.
Oh, it's you again!
Sure it is. You're definitely being non-intrusive and not pestering anyone at all. On an unrelated note, would you mind answering a series of increasingly personal questions?
Oh, of course! I'd love to answer your questions. Which I'm sure won't be 1. Overly invasive. 2. Take up too much time.
She smiles at you broadly. So about the caverns.
What did you want to know about the caverns? That's such a broad question, and I could talk for hours about it.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good point. Well, you guess you were wondering what the general situation is in the cavern. Like, you notice that there are no more drones around. That feels kind of weird. Plus, they're not supposed to be off-road or something.
Oh my goodness, yes! 1. The drones were scheduled to be removed for refitting, but we haven't gotten replacements yet. 2. We're all currently waiting to be relieved by someone else who can take over our duties in the cavern. 3. At that time, we will be assigned off-world somewhere.
Her voice trails off, and you can hear how sad she sounds. Well, wait a minute, you interrupt quickly. Maybe she's done such a good job that let her stick around.
It doesn't really work like that. What I do here, any Jade blood with proper training can do it. Well, most of it.
She steals a glance at over one of the grubs making its way along a low bench in one of the corner of the common rooms. You remember the nursery, all those grubs that were surely be suited only for culling if Bronny wasn't there to help them. You wonder what would happen if she wasn't there, if someone less compassionate or less willing to defy the Empire was in charge.
Defy the Empire? Goodness, no!
Oh, well, crap, you did the thing again. No, you clarify you don't mean defy the Empire, more like going against established rules and procedures in the way that is surely not going to be noticed. Bronny looks nervous.
As long as we're clear about that, I would never want to defy the Empire. Why?
She doesn't say anything else. She doesn't have to say anything else. Your mind immediately goes to the other people living in the caverns. All of the people that Bronny committed herself to taking care of. What would happen to them if she were seen as defiant? You really don't want to keep going down this particular mental footpath, so you quickly change your subject. What's with all the grubs? Can't help but notice there's grubs, well, basically everywhere. Got the impression that from your last visit that they were kind of fragile.
They are, but it's important that they also have a safe environment to explore in. After all, grub enrichment is critical in ensuring proper wiggler development.
Well, except for the ones she's nursing back to health, right? They need to be kept safe from any harm, more than the others. Bronny looks off to the side nervously.
Yes? Well, 1. Every grub deserves the same chance at a healthy life. 2. Rules to the contrary are nonsense.
Huh, you never thought you'd hear her say something like that. She sure she doesn't have any bit of rebellious streak in her? Bronny's face blanks, and she shakes her head vigorously.
Of course not!
Okay, sure, that seems reasonable and not at all like a lie. As long as you move this increasingly awkward conversation along, you hear a soft chirp coming from Bronny's coat pocket. Just, the baby is so cute. Looking down, you see a tiny grub poking their head out, grinning at you. Gah.
Oh, yeah. This one they were significantly smaller than the other grubs at hatching. I doubt they would have survived on their own, especially given standard procedure in such cases.
So she just decided to carry them around in her pocket?
Just until they get bigger.
So cute, baby.
After all, every grub deserves the same chance at a healthy life.
Oh, just a cute little baby. She smiles softly and reaches down to tickle the tiny grub's head. They respond with another soft chirp and a half-hearted attempt to bite down Bernie's fingers. Oh, you think it's really cool that she's fighting back against the Empire system like that?
Oh no! I'm not fighting the Empire, just not telling them about this. It's not an important detail. As matriarch of these caverns, it is well within my rights to make these decisions.
You suspect that's not actually true, but you wisely decide not to press the issue anymore. So, Lumira seems nice. Barney squints at you and smiles softly.
Oh, she is. She is. 1. Always cheerful about her work around the caverns. 2. Always willing to help the others. 3. She is the best Moirail I could ever hope to have.
Bronny's face breaks into a grin that feels strangely forced. You know that this is actually kind of ridiculous. You've been dancing around this for too long now, and it's, well, painfully obvious what's going on here. Yeah, just don't push it, because obviously if you push it, things are going to go horribly wrong. So, let's see here, and sorry, just a little something going on. Let's see here. So, yo, geez, it really hurts to look at that smile. She looks so uncomfortable. You wonder if maybe this wasn't the right approach. Maybe you've been better, more upfront about what's right in your face.
Of course! You understand how important my pale relationship with Linnea is, and my matespritship with Daria. Everything fits into place just the way it should.
That's certainly one way to put it. So, she and Daria are a thing now?
Yes, I suppose you could say we are a thing. If by that you mean we are...
By that, if you're a happy mate right together, of course. Yeah, that's basically what you meant. It just swallowed it a little bit. Trying to find a way to put this that won't make Bronya feel awful. Which, yeah, I don't want to hurt her feelings, because... You never really got the sense that Bronya and Daria were interested in each other like that. Bronya doesn't seem to like this. She knits her eyebrows and frowns.
Because you know so much about our matespritship? Because you know so much about all of us? After more than 2 sweeps, you know people change, right?
Yeah, yes, that's true. You think back on everyone you've met up to now, how their lives are diverged at some point. Well, you weren't there. You wonder how many other people you met whose lives have suddenly branched away from their original path. Which, who are you to judge?
Thank you for being so understanding. In any case... 1. Daria and I have been matesprits for almost a sweep now. 2. We both experience a happy balance of flush, pitched, and pale quadrants. 3. We are both very happy with how things are and hardly experience a single thought to the contrary. You understand this is all normal, right?
Wait, so... Maybe? I'm not sure, to be honest. What is even normal when you really get down to it? How do you simplify and define feelings about other people like that?
That's not much of an answer, but I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it?
So you're going off-world soon? Your face eye leaves Bronya's lips, and she leaves one and shakes her head slowly.
One day soon, anyway. As soon as the caverns are brought back up to full capacity. The drones need repair, and we need additional jades to come in and take over for the 3 of us.
It doesn't take a genuine genius to figure out who the 3 of us are first, so you don't ask her to explain.
And then, we'll all do our duty.
And what does that mean? You're not completely sure what it is that Jade Bloods do once they go off-world. Something about the Space Church?
You're thinking of the clowns, I think. Jade Bloods end up in the cloisters, though. Or on the colonies. It depends on what's needed at any given moment.
She's looking at the ground as she says it, and you're still sitting here trying to figure out what exactly the implications of these things are. I remember Lane Queen talking about the cloisters, but he wasn't very keen on giving you specifics.
The cloisters are... It's where we go to prepare new mother grubs, to ensure our species has a future. But there are strict rules. For one thing, we wouldn't be allowed to hold any kind of attachments to others that might influence our thinking.
So wait a minute, is she saying that she would have to be by herself, that they wouldn't keep her together with anyone else? Not her mate sprite or Morelli? Bronya nods solemnly.
And how exactly do you think I feel about that?
Let's go with conflicted. When she responds to your voice is full of bitterness.
You could say that, yes. I have many mixed feelings about the circumstances we're in right now, but it doesn't matter, because I have my grubs to care for. I have people I care about. I have responsibilities. And if I stop for even 1 second to worry about what happens next...
She trails off, and you're not sure that you can see the tears forming in the corners of her eyes. You know what? Maybe it would be better just talk about something else. Yeah, good distraction's always a solid plan. Bronya stiffers quietly and smile again. This time, this isn't the broad fox smile she was putting on before, but something smaller, quieter, and oh so much sadder. Where's Karkio? Bronya's face falls as soon as the question leaves your mouth. She shifts and grabs a handful of her skirt in her hands and working the cloth between her fingertips as she bites her lips.
She's not here right now.
Wait, did she maybe misspeak? You thought Karkio's a boy? Bronya shrugs.
No, she isn't. But she's still out there somewhere.
She really feels like she's talking past, Something about Karkio specifically is hitting her close to home, and you're not sure how to pry this particular nugget of information out.
In any case, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, sorry. Not gonna push it. Bronya shakes her head, and there's a deep sadness behind her eyes. You wish you could say something to her, something to make this all better, but really don't know what you could possibly say that wouldn't end up making this exponentially worse. You end up settling for a half-hearted smile and a little bit of a wave. Bronya
I appreciate that you're trying at least. I think maybe it would be best if you gave me a minute.
You're about to argue with her, but you catch the look in her eyes, and you decide that, yeah, maybe it'd be better to go talk to anyone else for a while, or maybe do something else. Literally anything than bother Bronya. Check on the Lanira. Well, this was great and all, but you figured you should definitely go see Lanira. It's up to you. After all, it would be rude to ignore the friend who greeted you when you arrived here. So, while we're going... I'm very happy with my mate's parts, and I wouldn't suggest otherwise. Know nothing about my relationships. Except with my mate's parts. Except mate's parts first. That silly mistake. I don't want them to leave. I don't want us to be apart. You want to have to find Lanira. Still vaguely remember the way from before, and you can't help but think that this whole situation's feeling odd. Like you stepped into a wholly different genre of experience yet again. Fortunately, you don't have time to reflect on things, because you quickly arrive at Lanira's weird, creepy murder dungeon. Except it isn't a weird, creepy murder dungeon. In fact, it just kind of looks like a quiet side room in a university library or something. The room is lined with bookshelves, mostly full of regular non-murder themed books. You can make out a few of the titles, boring stuff like Grub Raising, Best Practices, The 7 Habits of the Highly Organized, however the heck you pronounce that, and okay, that sounds like it's probably some scandalous romance novel. In one of the room, Lanira sits behind a wooden desk writing in a small journal. She closes the journal with a soft thump and gets up to come greet you.
Oh, it's you again. My apologies for before. I shouldn't have left without saying anything else.
Honestly, you're still kind of reeling at the redecoration that's happening here. This is, well, it looks pretty nice. Lanira adjusts that sweater vest she's always seems to be wearing and smiles at you expectantly. So, her and Daria, what's that about?
Oh, well, we've been pitched for about a sweep now.
That's honestly very, very nice. I'm glad they have something worthwhile. Lanira looks down at the ground, her eyes fling back and forth at the frown across her face.
She's always doing things that I think they're dangerous. I hate her.
You're still trying to get your head around what exactly the whole pitch quadrant thing means. It seems like it's a rivalry thing? Enemies to lovers? Honestly, not sure, especially after seeing that kind of weird dynamic that Tagore and Galeth seem to have going on.
Well, we're here to make sure we're our best. She pushes my buttons and I push hers, but in a good way.
She's blushing deeply, fidgeting with the sweater and smiling. You're not even sure if this is typical behavior for Mrs.
Oh, it's very normal.
Yeah, they seem normal?
Of course! We're in a stable and healthy pitch relationship. We don't have any kind of problems.
Your mind flashes back to what Daria said when you first saw her and Lanier again. Something about a secret? What does that mean? Lanier looking at you expectantly, and if she really needs this to be okay, you don't think you can honestly say one way or the other exactly what's going on with her and Daria, but the little slip of the tongue early just felt pretty meaningful. Instead of working through any of this, you chose to smile and nod. Lanier seems to take this pretty well in stride, and since she doesn't ask any more follow-up questions. So that Bronya, huh? A tint of color expands from Lanier's cheeks to cover her whole face. She's smiling in a way you don't think you've seen her from her before.
I love her.
Oh, okay. Lanier blinks and shakes her head, as if she just snapped herself back to reality.
As a Moirail! I don't want things to be unclear at all. I love having her as a Moirail. She's kind and considerate, and she's always trying to do what's best. I can't imagine having a better Moirail in the whole world.
She smiles at you, nervous and forced. You're seeing a lot of those kinds of smiles lately. How does she really feel? Lanier shakes her head and wipes her eyes quickly with the back of her hand.
I wish you'd stop talking to me like this.
Oh, like what?
You keep questioning how I feel about people. Maybe I'm not a Wiggler anymore. Maybe I know my own feelings better than you think I do.
She looks away, suddenly getting very quiet.
You don't know what it's like to be in my position. To feel things that you just can't talk to them about.
Well, honestly, that makes sense. That went about as well as you would expect it would. You rushed quickly to change the subject. About the caverns.
Oh, what did you want to know?
You were mostly wondering what was happening with the caverns in general. If you're remembering your retaining lore correctly, they should all be about the age where they have to go off-world, right?
Yes. I'm already half a sweep past when I could be called for ascension. Even Daria's hit 10 sweeps. We're all just waiting for them to find someone suited to take over, and then...
She doesn't finish her sentence, but you can see how her gaze drops. As soon as they find someone else to take over, the rest of them are gone.
The only reason we're still here is because no one has been found yet that meets the rigorous standards for cavern duty.
Wanchi? You know Wanchi's kind of young, but isn't she like 7 or 8 sweeps now? Wouldn't she be able to take over soon?
Yes, but she's pretending she's incompetent.
Wait, what?
She thinks she's hiding it really well, but I know she's faking her exam results. She doesn't want us to leave.
Lanier sighs and frowns. You're wondering if any of this has something to do with how quick Wanchi has to shut herself in her room.
She looks up to Daria a lot.
You kind of figured the outfit was sort of a dead giveaway. Lanier smiles sadly.
Yeah, she'll be sad when we're gone. I wish I could do something more. But as far as the Empire's concerned, she's not ready yet.
About the murder dungeon.
Excuse me? The what?
Lanier's eyebrows knit up and she's looking around the room quickly. Oh, you know, say very casually, still working, being super casual literally all the time after all. The horrible murder dungeon where she tied you up and threatened your life?
My study. Are you talking about my study?
Yeah, that study murder dungeon. It's all good, just that, you know, she changed decor lately. What's that about? Lanier's face is a mix of confusion and the first traces of genuine pain.
But it always looked like this. I'm sorry. I know it might be a little bit dusty, but to call it a murder dungeon is very rude.
Wait. You're sorry. Obviously there's been some kind of fundamental miscommunication. Try and think back to remember what's been happening at the time. You were stressed out and you've been tied up and they were being interrogated.
You were an intruder. What was I supposed to do? Let you just go hurt the people I love?
Oh, crap. You haven't thought about it like that. Maybe she didn't see a random stranger appearing at her home one day in great light, but seriously, the room hasn't changed.
No! Well, I mean, I did get one new thing. I don't think you saw these.
The little plushies. She walks over to the shelf and picks up 3 small plush dolls. They're clearly made of what look like Bronia, Lanira, and Daria, albeit rendered in the somewhat crude medium of felt. They're cute. Lanira gives each of the dolls a squeeze and turn and smile.
My Kiss Me Sis and my Moirail and me? It's been the 3 of us for a while, and maybe it's not always easy, but at least we have each other.
She sets the dolls down on the shelf again and turns to smile at you.
Was there something else you wanted to ask about? I'm sorry, but I think you should be going now. I've got some things I want to write down, and I'd rather have some privacy.
Totally understandable, Lanira. Lots of things happening. You glad how everything's going? How do I feel about her? Would I have had a dungeon all alone for murder? Never mind, it was a misunderstanding. You know how to take a hint the best of them, so you quickly and quietly excuse yourself to find someone else to talk to. You really don't want to bother any of them right now, and it feels like they're all got their own issues to work through privately. Maybe isn't your place to try and solve everyone's problems like this. It's just, you got your standard pitch about, hey, let's go smash the Empire to go through, and you haven't gone even to it yet. Instead, you wander around vaguely back to the common room. Branian isn't there anymore, but you do see Wanshi sitting in the corner with a thick book in her lap. Looks like some kind of gaming source book. When she hears you approaching, Wanshi closes the book and stands up quietly. Yes, of course.
It's you again, Ulu.
And I am actually going to save this here. I hope you guys have a good day, night, week, month of your lives. May the stars forever guide your path, wherever it might lead you into the future. Goodbye, everybody.